So this is not independent media. It's fake independent media and new corporate media. And Rogan, again, is a great example of this. There's nothing independent about him at this point. Nothing.
What's going on, you guys? Today we're covering Joe Rogan's downfall. We have Kyle Kulinski and Joe Rogan's subreddit turning on the man himself, Joe Rogan. He's losing his fans by the minute. It's not looking good. I'm playing a clip from the Kyle Kulinski show, providing some of my commentary. Let's watch.
Hate him now. Strong title. So we've seen similar instances before. I know that about a year ago or 2 years ago, somebody pointed out to me that Rogan's Reddit is just full of people who mock him now and shit on him now. I know that's like a common occurrence that happens. I know it happened to Dave Rubin's Reddit. I'm sure it may have even happened to my Reddit, to be fair. I really don't know. But it happened to Rogan, #1 podcaster in the world, biggest name in this industry. But now we have a new video. Joe Rogan's fans hate him now. Let's see what the reasoning is this time.
Are very upset with him. They're not exactly turning against him, which I don't expect him to. He's the #1 podcaster in the world. He makes really good content, obviously. I'm sure many of you guys watch him. I definitely
agree to disagree. Oh, he makes really good content. You sure about that, dog?
Watch him. He had a very interesting interview with a guy named Wesley Huff. So I watched that one, which I pulled up right here. But people are really upset because Joe Rogan is doing what most major content creators do. Once you get to a point as a content creator where you're just huge, like you're one of the top in the world, you got two things you could do. You can either do what some of the younger streamers are doing. Like you could take a sponsorship with like a super sketchy company like Steak and they pay you all this insane money. Or you can take a crazy streaming deal with Kick and get paid like 60, 50, $100 million. Or you could do what Joe Rogan has done. You're already making like 100 million, 200 million, whatever he's making from Spotify. And you still decide for whatever reason to run a bunch of ads in your video. Now, I've thought this for a while. I thought I was alone. But recently, I feel like the ads have gotten kind of crazy. Like, he puts so many... It's almost like Shannon Sharp if anybody watches him.
This is what's become of what was supposed to be independent media, what was supposed to be new media. I told you guys a long time ago that it's no longer independent media if the same bad incentives exist. Right? The problem with mainstream media was what? Hey, there's a lot of advertiser money, a lot of corporate money that goes in there. That helps steer the direction of the network because the people on top of the network will only hire people who don't rock the boat, who push narratives that the corporations and the advertisers are okay with. That's the problem with mainstream media. But guess what? Now you have that same virus has an...
The biggest question for me is where his fans are going to go. Where are they actually going to go? He has so many fans, but at this point, it is clear to see that he's just turned heel. He is no longer the good guy in this situation. So who's next? Who is out here that is actually talking about real stuff, not just bull crap, and says something worth hearing? It's ironic that Joe Rogan was all about the truth, that he was wanting to get down to the things and call out the biggest systems and the government and things that were corrupt. And he is completely turned, Gotham City, it's upsetting to see, especially for his fans.
Infected what was supposed to be independent media. Now, back in the day when we said independent media, everybody just assumed like, okay, that just means if you're online, you're different, you're more unfiltered, you're willing to tell the truth more, you're willing to rock the boat more. But now, it's not good enough to think of, independent media is just online. Because you could be online and you could be controlled by the donors, by the special interests, by the advertisers and the corporations and the billionaires. And this is what we're seeing. Most of independent media is a total cesspool. It's not independent media anymore. It's new corporate media. New corporate media. So what does it take to be actual independent media? Well, I've told you guys, you can set up a business model that makes your funding more pure. That makes it so you don't have any disincentives and malincentives and you can tell the truth. We on this show, what do? You guys support the show through small dollar donations, monthly recurring donations on Patreon. You give $2 a month or $5 a month or $7 a month or whatever it is. That's one way. Another way is you guys tip with the thanks button on YouTube. That's another way. But most importantly, you can't do ads. You can't do ads. Look, I'll make an exception for people if it's something they really, really believe in and they really, really personally like. If they want to do a deal with a certain brand and there's, it's just a brand that they really love and really use and they actually want other people to use it. That's one thing. That's fine. Okay. I don't even do that. Right. But I'll make an exception for that. But I've never had a conversation with an advertiser. I've never had a conversation with a corporation. I've never had a conversation with a billionaire. I've never had a conversation with a foreign government. I'm not interested because I don't want to set any bad incentives up. So don't email me, don't call me, don't talk to me, don't reach out. I'm not interested, right? But what you see is all of fake independent media, new corporate media, they're making brand deals out the wazoo. It's like, remember, Tim Pool and Dave Rubin got money from Tenet Media, run by Lauren Chen. What is Tenet Media? Well, come to find out, Lauren Chen was getting a tremendous amount of money from the Russian government. And so Tenet Media takes the Russian government money, gives it to Tim Pool and Dave Rubin, and you would think that, by the way, what did they come out and say? Guys, we didn't know it was Russia, so it's okay. We didn't realize it was Russia. We just thought it was some shady billionaire investor that was funding us. Well, isn't that also bad? Isn't that all?
My biggest question for everyone is, when did you stop watching Joe Rogan? When did you realize that he was just a crock of crap, that he was no longer going to promote anything of worthy value, that it was all lacking substance? Like, when did you realize that he was no longer going to be saying things that he actually felt, that he had fallen down a rabbit hole, that it wasn't really coming from his true center, that this was old drunk uncle talking at this point, who has gotten a lot of money, so now he doesn't feel like he actually has to evolve as a person, that he is comfortable where he's at?
Also part of the problem that now, if you're getting money from billionaires, you are already probably representing billionaire interests, and that's why they're funding you, because they like the things you have to say. Because you prop up the Republican Party, which means what? The billionaires get more tax breaks. The billionaires get more subsidies. That's why they're funding you. So this is not independent media. It's fake independent media and new corporate media. And Rogan, again, is a great example of this. There's nothing independent about him at this point. Nothing. What does it take to be real independent media? Not talking to advertisers, crowdfunding from the ground up, and the other thing which I'm okay with is having the default ads on YouTube, because there's a big buffer between the creator and the advertiser, and I don't know what's coming. I have no idea, right? That's the only way I'm okay with funding it. That's the only way I'm comfortable saying you're independent media. And I'll give credit. There's some people go even one step further than me, and I give them massive credit, and that's, for example, Citations Needed with Adam Johnson and Nima Shirazi. They've said, we don't even do default ads. We don't even want that. They are 100% ground up, small dollar donor funded. That's real independent media. He's not done yet. Let's keep going.
Those creators put way too many ads in their videos. It's like every 5 minutes there's an ad randomly, and it really is annoying. Like, I get it. You got to get paid, get your money. But these guys should really hold it to just like a few ads per video. We don't need 8 ads in one video that we're never going to buy anyway.
So what he's saying is that Joe Rogan, on top of the $100 million contract or $250 million contract, I think at one time or another, he literally had, he got 2 contracts and they were for about that amount of money. It's like, okay, so if you're making that much money, why would you have 1,000 ads that are jammed into your podcast? And it used to be, for example, if you get Spotify Premium, that you're like save yourself from the ads by doing that, right? But now, even if you have Spotify Premium, apparently they're running countless ads. And so that's not good. Right? That's going to piss people off. Let's keep going.
Joe Rogan has a Reddit, and basically this whole thing stems from people.
Joe Rogan has a lot of power as far as this whole thing goes. He can constantly say, hey, look, I'm not a news source. I'm just a dumb guy, talking on the internet. And then he talks with so much passion about these certain things that his audience will full on believe it. Then they'll go into a rabbit hole, and his audience is not, just a few hundred people. These people fully believe in what he's saying, and they're going to follow, and then they're going to talk to their friends about it. Then they're going to talk to their spouses about it. They're going to spread this news. And if Joe Rogan ever gets proven wrong, he's very quick to say, hey, look, I came from Fear Factor. I'm an MMA guy. I like to fight. This is it. I don't know anything about anything. I'm completely stupid. He can just weasel his way out of all of these things and does not have to be held accountable.
People complaining about this in his Reddit. So this is what somebody said in the Reddit. Ads mid-episode makes it pointless to pay for Spotify. I understand exactly where they're coming from, because many people who watch Joe Rogan's podcast, they probably either use it as like good background noise while they're listening, or maybe they're working or doing some type of job where they're able to listen to hour-long podcasts, or maybe they're working out. And it's annoying when you're just trying to zone out and do your thing while listening to his podcast, and all of a sudden there's a 3-minute ad that you don't want to hear. This video is sponsored by DraftKings. Make sure you get the crowd, go back to the content. Like, I definitely completely understand, but yeah, people are pretty upset about that. It says here, I get still having ads, but making them skippable was at least meeting paying subscribers halfway. Now it's mid-episode, not skippable in the previous way. Pretty effed. Why pay for Spotify?
So they pay for Spotify. There's still ads and they're not skippable. So yeah, why pay for Spotify? And by the way, you think people are just going to roll with this and there's not going to be some percentage drop of people who are going to listen to your shit? There will be. There will be. And again, I never want to hear the term independent media talking about Rogan or others who have a similar funding model ever again, ever.
So they're basically complaining about that. Then people are calling him out in the comments of this Reddit post and talking about what Joe Rogan used to say back in the day, which again, this is what every content creator says. Most of the big content creators on YouTube, you can find old videos of them saying, I'll never sell a course, I'll never take sponsors, I'll never grift you guys, I'll never blast you with sponsorship ads. But it's easy to say when you don't have money.
So there we have it, you guys. It's pretty clear that Joe Rogan has jumped the shark. He has completely turned on his fans, if you ask me, and now his fans are starting to retaliate. They are starting to make their own source of entertainment and find ways to get around this, to find ways to cover up this void that once was this channel that they might have liked, that once was this podcaster that they liked, this guy they liked. Now they're on to the new thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's another day in the progressive way.